Welcome students, I am Dr. Ashwini Ghanbahadur, Head of Zoology Department. Today I am going to give you introduction of SY-BSc Zoology syllabus for semester 1st. Applied Zoology is divided into two parts. Part 1st will be Sericulture, in which we are going to study about rearing of silkworm. Part 2nd includes agriculture pests and their control. Today we are going to study introductory part of sericulture. Sericulture or silkworm industry is very important branch of applied zoology. Sericulture is culturing or rearing of the silkworm so as to obtain silk. It is an agro-based industry. Sericulture involves various steps like raising the food plants for silkworm, rearing of the silkworm, production of cocoons, railing, spinning of cocoon and production of the yarn. There are 5 main sericulture producer and consumer countries in the world, namely Japan, China, South Korea, USSR and India. Silk fiber is a protein which is produced from the silk gland of silkworm. There are 2 main types of silk, mulberry silk and non-mulberry silk. Mulberry silk is produced by silkworm which feed on leaves of mulberry plant, and non-mulberry silk is produced by silkworm which feeds on leaves of non-mulberry plant, that is plants other than mulberry. There are 3 types of non-mulberry silk, namely tussar, muga and eri silk. Let us see taxonomic position or classification of silkworm. Silkworm belong to phylum Arthropoda, class Insecta, division is Endopterygota, order Lepidoptera, family Bombycidae or Saturnidae, genus maybe Bombyx, Antheria and Attacus, whereas species includes Mori, Asama, Papia and Richini. The present table is giving you information about different types of silk produced by different species of silkworm. In table number 3, you will find that the host plants required for rearing of particular species of the silkworm has been given. And in 4th column, distribution of the silkworm in the world is given. In this slide, we are able to see clearly the picture of 4 different types of silkworms which are domesticated in world. First one is mulberry silkworm moth, second is tussar silk moth, third is muga silk and 4th is eri silk. Now let us see regarding each silkworm type which is domesticated. First commonly domesticated species in world is mulberry silkworm, which is called as Bombyx mori. It is the most commonly domesticated variety of silkworm. Larvae of mulberry silkworm feed on mulberry leaves and hence these are called as mulberry silkworm. It is further classified depending on generations in 1 year into univoltine, bivoltine and multivoltine. In univoltine species, 1 generation is completed in 1 year, in bivoltine 2 generations in 1 year and in multivoltine more than 2 generations in a year. Silk produced by mulberry silkworm is whitish or yellowish in color. Continuous thread are produced by mulberry silkworm. Next is eri silkworm, Attacus richini. It is a domesticated species and is also called as castor silkworm because the host plant required for rearing eri silkworm is castor. Eri silkworm produce white or brick red color silk. Filament span are neither continuous nor uniform in thickness. Cocoons cannot be properly reared. It is multi-voltine in nature and have more than 5 generations in the year. It is having low quality as compared to that of mulberry silkworm, and hence it is called as poor man's wool or poor man's silk. Tussar silkworm. It is a wild variety of silkworm. It belongs to family Saturnidae and genus is Antheria. China is the biggest tussar silk producer, followed by India. It is a polyphagous insect which feeds on many plants such as beer, oak, sal and fig. Worms are either univoltine or bivoltine. Silk produced by tussar silkworm is green in color. Muga silkworm. Muga silk is golden yellow color silk produced specially in Assam state. It is obtained from semi-domesticated multivoltine silkworm. These silkworms feed on aromatic leaves of som and sola plants. Assam and Meghalaya are major producers of Muga silk. This is the picture of Muga silk moth, Antheria assamensis. This is common tussar silk moth called as Antheria papia. This is Muga silk moth. This is Japanese oak silk moth, Antheria yamamai. This is castor silk moth or iris silk moth, Attacus rechini. Now we will see the scenario of sericulture industry in India. Sericulture is a regular industry in India. Planned development of this industry was taken up only after the establishment of Silk Board in April 1949. Now it is a well-known industry achieving progress through improved technology. It is an agro-based industry. It provides a regular short-term income for small and marginal farmers. Silkworm industry provide enormous opportunities for income generation in India. In India, about 97% of raw mulberry silk is produced in different states including Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, West Bengal and Jammu and Kashmir. Sericulture industry provides employment to approximately 8 million people in rural and semi-urban areas in India. India is the unique country which is producing all the 5 known commercial silks, namely mulberry, tussar, oak tussar, eri and Muga silk, of which Muga with its golden yellow glister is unique of India.